Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be diving into 5 things that you need to think through as you are creating your organization system. So I feel like when most of us are creating our organization system, we may be thinking about one part and not the entire system itself. So we might be thinking about just our planner or just our notebook, but not about everything that could possibly happen that could throw off our system. And so in today's video, I wanted to dive into 5 things that I really think that you should think about as you are creating your system. So the first part of your system is the main way you want to store information. So for me, for instance, the main way that I want to keep information is on paper, and that is going to be my Tom 90 planner. Over time, I have realized that I am more likely to complete something if I write it down on paper, if I have a paper planning system. And so that is my main way to organize all of my information. And so that is the first thing that you need to identify. What is the main way that you like to store information? Is it on paper? Do you need a digital planner? Are you going to keep everything in a notebook? You need to identify the main way that you are going to organize information. The second thing that you need to think through is the way that you are going to process information. And for me, this is my brainstorming notebook. So I like to process information by writing a bunch of different things within my brainstorming notebook, and then I will make a decision after I have brainstormed, and it may move over into my main system, which is my paper planning system. Now, for some people, this might be the same thing. You may feel like you can brainstorm and store your information all within your planner. Or if you are like me, you may want to separate them, especially if your brainstorming process can be a messy process. You may want to figure it all out and then move it over to storage after you have processed. But either way, you need to decide how are you going to store information and how are you going to process information. Both of these are super important to your overall organization system. The next thing you need to figure out is how you're going to store information for the long term. There are pieces of information that you're going to need to keep on a long-term basis. It might be something that you need to refer back to year over year, and keeping that information in your planner may not be the best system. So for instance, with my planning system, I have a Tom 90 planner, which means that it is a 90-day planner. I am planning by the quarter. Planning by the quarter really does help me a lot with my focus and being able to stay on task. However, it is not as helpful with long-term information, with information that I may want to look at year over year. So I am planning on sharing more about my Google Drive and how I store my digital information there, how I organize my Google Drive. This is a part of my system. This is a place where I am able to store long-term pieces of information. So if I need to reflect back on it and look back at it in later years, I am able to do so. Now, this could be a paper notebook that you keep year over year. It could be a digital space where you organize things, but you do need to have a spot for long-term information, a place where you can refer back to year over year and you don't have to search for information that you may need again. The fourth thing that you need to think through when it comes to your organization system is how you are going to use it when you are really busy. Many times our organization system can get thrown off because we just have a lot on our plate. And when we have a lot on our plate, we usually will have to decide, how am I going to still organize and stay on top of different things when I just have a lot going on? So for instance, within my organization system, I will default to my catch-all planner, which is my weekly hourly planner. If I am unable to set up all of the parts of my Tom 90 planner, I will always set up my weekly hourly planner, because that planner is the one that helps me the most when I am extremely busy and I am unable to plan all of the different parts of my system. I will default to my weekly hourly planner the most, and I know that if I'm busy and I don't have time, I will at least use this planner. This can be the core planner that I will use during that time until I feel like I am able to get to the other planners that I have within my system. But thinking through ahead of time what you're going to do, what system you're going to use when you are busy and you don't have time to set up your entire week is going to be helpful. This could possibly be a notebook. It could be a daily planner. It could be your phone. You just need to decide ahead of time so that your entire system isn't thrown off just because you had a busy couple of weeks. The next thing that you need to think of when it comes to your organization system is what you are going to do when your schedule gets thrown off. If your whole day gets derailed and everything that you have planned is not going according to plan, how are you going to get back on track? For me, I will use my daily planner in order to help me get back on track. And so thinking ahead of time, how you're going to get back on track, how will I get back on schedule when everything is thrown off, can definitely help you when that time comes. I remember in the past, I was not flexible when my day would get thrown off. I would just basically throw the day away and start again the very next day. But then I lost my entire day. And so now having my daily planner, that helps me to be a little bit more flexible. I can replan my day and I can still look at what I possibly could get done. It's super helpful and it definitely helps me to stay on track. So definitely think about if your day is thrown off, if your week is thrown off, if you need to replan, reschedule, how are you going to do that process? Making that a part of your organization system is going to help you when that time comes. And the last thing that you need to think of when it comes to your organization system is how are you going to complete your routines and your habits? How are you going to stay on top of them? Now, for me, I love to use habit trackers. I like to keep a list of all of my routines. This definitely helps me to stay on top of my overall organization system, but you definitely need to think through how are you going to stay on top of these things so that you can make sure that your entire system stays on track. How often you do your habits basically will let you know if your system is working for you. So you want to include them when you are thinking about your overall system. So these are the 6 things that you really need to think through as you are thinking about your organization system. It's not just about the planner that you use or the notebook that you use. It's about how your life is currently going and what you are going to do. Certain things happen within your life. So within my system, I have a way to keep all of my main information. I have a way that I can process information. I have a spot where I can keep long-term information. I have a system for when I get really busy or my day gets thrown off. And I have a way to keep up with my habits. So anytime anything is thrown at me, I will automatically look and see where I could possibly store whatever is happening. If it is a long-term project, I will probably put it within my Google Drive. If I am trying to think through an idea, I will put it in my brainstorming notebook. If it's something that I'm going to keep for the quarter or the next couple of months, it will probably be stored within my Tom 90 planner. And if I need to regroup and replan my day, I'm going to pull up my daily planner. Having all parts of this system really does help me no matter what is thrown at me. So I wanted to dive into this because I really do believe that this will help you as you are setting up your system for next year. So let me know in the comments below, do you have all of these parts within your system? If you do, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.